Hey, RetconRaider here, and welcome back to another video about the Atom RPG Beta, which is currently available on Steam. It's been a while since our first session, but we're out here looking for a missing general, and we were robbed by passing bandits. Now we're working with some villagers to get some new supplies. Before we do anything else, let's take care of our level up. We've got 19 skill points to play with thanks to our higher than average intelligence, and I think we'll be dumping the majority of them into boosting our speech skill. I'm pretty sure that most skill check thresholds are set in multiples of 5, so we'll bump our speech up to 55. Then we'll use the rest of our points to shore up our combat skills, and I guess we'll also bump up our lockpicking skill. Now that we've gotten that taken care of, it's time to head back into the village of Otradnoe to see if we can find some more work. Of course, it's the middle of the night right now, so most of the NPCs have gone to sleep. That means our best bet is to head back to the tavern. The bartender there already gave us a basic fetch quest, but we're nowhere near ready to handle that yet, because it requires crossing the entire countryside. So we'll check to see if his sister has any other work for us. Before you stands a young woman. She is concentrating on writing something down in a yellowed notebook which has the word accounting on the cover. She is completely immersed in this activity and does not notice you. Can I ask you some questions? The girl tears her eyes from her work for a moment and stares blankly at you. Her thoughts must still be there, in the world of calculations and formulas. Huh? What? Right. I'm sorry. Didn't notice you there. You want something? You better talk with my brother behind the bar over there. I'm too busy to talk right now. She finishes her words without looking at you. She waves you in the direction opposite of the bar and again becomes one with her notebook. Well, let's go have another chat with her brother. This guy's already given us one odd job, but maybe he can help us find more. Hello again. Are you here for a drink, or have you brought my book back? Are there any jobs you might need me for, aside from the book thing? You know, you better talk to my sister about that. I'm a simple-minded guy myself. I can sell you beer, I can sell you some spirits. That I'd do gladly. Need something done around the house? A light bulb screwed in, or a chair fixed, for example. Just give me a call. But more serious stuff is for Katya's ears. She's the proactive one. He looks at a young lady who seems to be lost in some calculations. It's just that she's pretty busy right now, tallying the expenses, planning the budget, you know. And when Katya is busy, it's honestly pretty hard to get her attention. Oh, but I just thought of something. You know what she loves? Making all sorts of potions, tinctures, and spirits, that's what. Can't really understand why, but she's quite into all that chemistry stuff. Come up to her and tell her that I sent you to try out her latest tincture. That way you'll get a free drink and also get to chat with her about stuff. Sly, huh? Pretty clever, methinks. Methinks, huh? Okay. Thanks. Now let's try this again. Your brother sent me over. He says you might have some tincture for me to try out. The girl stops her calculations and stares at you blankly. After a moment she blinks, then she smiles and tucks the tiny pencil stub behind her right ear. I see. Well, that's great. I doubt you've ever drunk anything quite like it. It's a new recipe, you see. Well, not really new, more like forgotten by everyone. Wow, I'm really inclined to try it out. The girl nods and shows you to a darker, colder corner of the tavern. From behind the bar, she produces a clay bottle labeled with the letters XXX. Here, drink up. You carefully take a tiny sip. The drink has a strange, sour taste. You shrug and hand the bottle back to the girl. You don't feel intoxicated, not even nauseous. You feel that you can take another sip. You take the bottle and have another. What harm can a few more sips do? Now your head starts to spin. Nothing scary about that, right? You even retain full sensation in your limbs, like normal, but then you feel them floating in the air around you, as if all the air had suddenly turned to water. Your mouth is very dry, so you wet it with another sip of the tincture. From someplace far away, you hear the girl calling to you, saying, "Don't do it," but you already did. The world around you just stops. You also stop, but your mind races with thoughts that come with exceptional clarity and speed. Why are you here? Why am I here? Why did I drink that stuff? Why? The sound of your own thoughts seems to you like the roll of distant thunder, but it's getting nearer every second, and you suddenly understand that what you thought was thunder are actually footsteps. From out of the misty void, General Morozov appears before you. "You looking for me?" he asks, and his voice is like 100 voices in one. You cannot reply. You are frozen. "Looking for me, yeah. You looking for me," says Morozov, and takes your hand. "Let's go." You walk through the dead gray mist together, Morozov in front, you following behind. The general walks calmly, and you don't have anything better to do than simply follow him. Finally, the mist parts before you, and a strangely beautiful sight appears before you. There are mushrooms here. A gigantic, unreal primordial mushroom forest. Their huge trunks are thicker than the biggest oaks you've ever seen. Their tops obscure the sky like giant umbrellas. The general continues to lead you onward, weaving around the massive mushrooms. Your tour through the fantastic forest stops suddenly at a truly colossal mushroom, bigger than all else. "This is God," says Morozov, but you can't see him anymore because he speaks from inside you. He speaks from your head using your mouth. You are General Morozov. Suddenly, the ground beneath your feet begins to shake, and you almost lose your balance. It seems like an earthquake, but when the shaking stops, you look up and scream, for the colossal mushroom now has a human face. "Bow!" orders the mushroom, and you fall senseless. Your mind turns off. You sleep. For how many hours, you don't know. After finally waking up, you do not feel any of the usual symptoms of heavy drinking from the day before. What the... "He's alive! Vasya, he's alive!" You see the girl holding you up so you don't fall on the floor. Your stability returns as the strange sensations of the tincture leave you completely. The bartender, swearing quietly, wipes the sweat from his brow. "How are you feeling?" "Surprisingly well, actually." "Quite the hardy constitution you turned out to have. I'm so sorry, I made the tincture too strong. How stupid of me. I nearly killed a man. I feel just terrible about all of this." "Yeah." The girl lets out an exhale and gives you a smile. "We took good care of your stuff while you, slept." You check your belongings to discover that you have not been robbed. Miracles really do happen in life. "I still don't understand why it turned out so strong. I used my grandfather's recipe that my grandma recorded," she says, speaking mostly to herself. "Okay, anyway, we need to have a talk. Gotta be sure your brain completely recovered." "That's a good idea. Can I ask you some questions?" "I'm listening." "Okay, well, let's start off with something simple. Tell me about yourself." "I'm a lonely tavern keeper lost in the wastes, waiting for my valiant knight to appear." She winks at you and laughs quietly. "Alright, sure, I'll bite." "Hell, I don't have a horse, but I can still be quite valiant." She lifts a brow and looks at you with interest, an amused smile on her face. "Oh really? What's so special about you then?" "Well, we're definitely not going to win any points with strength or personality, so..." "Well, I set goals for myself and then achieve them, which is really the only intelligent thing to do." You understand that such boasting is not a very smart idea, but you're a clever fellow and sure enough about your skills and knowledge. This is probably what makes an impression on the girl, as she blushes. I don't know. I need to think about that. You might just have a big mouth." "I understand. Take your time." Wow, awkward. Oh, but there are some new people at the bar. But let's stay focused for the moment. We still need to ask Katya about potential jobs. I'm looking for work. Can you point me towards some? Everyone's looking for work around here, but I'm afraid I can't help you personally. What I can do is recommend you to Comrade Kovalev, our village head. He always has some work to be done, but he is a respected man around here. He won't do business with someone he'd never seen before. Recommending a stranger to him is sort of unprofessional. Maybe if you'd help me with some chores first, I'd know I can trust you. What do you need help with? Oh, well, I'm ashamed to ask, but I need some toadstools. Don't have enough free time to do it on my own. Maybe you could help me out? Picking just 5 toadstools would do. They grow on the other side of the fence, not far from here. Are you up to it? Look, I'm trustworthy. Maybe we'll skip the mushroom part and get straight to the cooperation. Oh, all right, fine. You have an honest face. Let me just write a memo for Comrade Kovalev. Take it to him and maybe he'll have a talk with you. He lives to the left of the tavern. Good luck. Thanks. I better go. Yeah, let's be on our way before she decides to poison us again. To the left would be over here. This certainly looks promising. There's an awful lot of containers over there I'm not going to risk trying to loot because I'm sure they're all owned. Before you stands an old man in an old weathered but clean jacket. He looks around 60 but very well preserved for someone who lives in the wastes. It seems possible that his real age is closer to 70. His strict face is adorned with a short mustache. What do you need, comrade? I got this letter of recommendation at the tavern. I'm looking for work. Interesting. Let me take a look at that note. Comrade Kovalev takes your note and quickly reads it. You notice that he holds it very close to his eyes. Seems like the vision of this strong old man isn't as good as it was in its prime. Seems that Katya Radchenko believes you can be trusted. Maybe so. In any case, you made an impression and this is recommendation enough. You notice real warmth in the head's voice when he talks about Katya from the tavern. His tone is almost fatherly. The head thoughtfully cracks his knuckles. After that, he raises his gaze to you, looking as if he's reached a conclusion. Maybe I have a job for you after all. You probably already heard about the bandit gang that terrorizes our village. Each month, they come to take our supplies away from us. If we don't pay up, they rob and kill our people. We tried fighting them, but to no avail. But now, looking at your honest face, I've come up with a little plan. The head lowers his gaze again. It's hard for you to read him. He is either indecisive or just trying to find the right words. Well, take your time. The thing is, our village probably has a snitch living in it. A traitor. A rat. I'm sure about this. Someone made a pact with the bandits and tells them everything that's going on around here. But with that said, I can't imagine who that rat is. And that bastard himself knows me and the other villagers too well to get caught. When we hired mercenaries to protect us, the bandits already knew about it, and each time we trade for a bit of money, they attack. Someone is ratting us out. You're a new face in the region. It should be easy for the rat to trust you. Bring me the identity of the traitor. That is the job. And why do you trust me with that? I could be one of the bandits. The head laughs mirthlessly and appears to shrink a bit before you. His true age becomes more apparent and you realize he must be much older than 60. I'll tell it to you straight. The village is slowly dying. The drought, the bandits, our young people always leaving. A few more years and we'll be wiped off the map. The old-timers will die and others will simply scatter. Some might even join the bandits. I really don't like my options, but it's probably our only hope now. A last hope to change something, fix something. Not to bring back what we lost, but at least to buy our settlement a little more time. If it must die, let it die honorably on its own, leaving warm memories in the hearts of the people. What's happening now? That's not even death. It's withering. It's rot. That's not good. It seems we need an investigation. Comrade Kovalev walks up to you. Do you agree or do you decline? Say it straight. And what will you pay me? It's a logical question to be asked. Egotistical, but logical. I don't trust people who work for an idea anymore. As payment, we shall supply you with weapons, money, and food. If you become our agent, we will pay you handsomely, I guarantee it. I am an honest man, and I'm ready to do anything to help my village. I'll remember that. I agree. Where should I start? Where do you start? Well, let me just tell you who in the village I do not suspect. For one, I completely trust my fighting men, Jan and Petya on the south and north gates respectively. They would not work for me otherwise. Trader Yashin may be a suspect. He is new in town and he obviously has a shady past, but he does so much for the village. He built his shop with his own money, he pays taxes, and he suffers from the bandits like everyone else. Dr. Mikoyan and old Semyon I trust like I would trust myself. We built this village together, you know. They are good people, tested by time and loyal. Comrade Grankin, the village superintendent, on the other hand, is a cowardly, shifty person. But no, he is too cowardly. He would never work with the bandits. It's much more profitable for him to keep his post in the village, and the bandits have no respect for him and would probably shoot him for laughs if he tried to talk to them. Katya and Vasya Radchenko, the owners of the tavern, have no reason to be snitches. They would never do something like that. And the others, I just don't know about the rest. Maybe you could give me some more clues. I suspect that the trader is a man, not too old, a person that travels from time to time but is ultimately lazy. The head wrinkles his nose. Those criminal types, they abhor honest labor. They think that only the low people must work, while they act like some aristocracy. Yeah, well, I'd better start investigating. Okay, so we've finally got our first real job. We need to track down the bandit mole and then report back to Kovalev with his identity. I guess we'll start by chatting with this guy here. Before you stands an aging man with an old rifle in his wrinkled hands. He looks at you with mostly concealed interest. Hey, can I ask you a few questions? Hey there, ask away and I'll try to get you some answers. What are you guarding? It's the village treasury. We keep the taxes we gather here and use them for the common good. And if you've got any funny ideas, my friend, I don't recommend trying them out. I may be old, but I'm a great shot. Sure thing. Well, gotta go. Good luck. Well, I guess it's a good thing I didn't try rummaging through any of those bookshelves over there. Anyway, let's get our investigation started. Now, Kovalev specifically mentioned that he felt sure Yashin had some sort of dark past. I guess that's as good a place to start as any. You know, I never noticed there were actually items you could pick up in here. I guess that's stuff for stealth build characters to steal, or maybe it's there for evil players who decide to just kill their way through town. At any rate, let's go ahead and do what we came here to do. I'd like to ask you some questions. The trader seems a bit underwhelmed, but keeps his smile, in case you'd still like to buy something. I'm listening. Nothing directly related to bandits, so let's start off light. How's business? It's fair. You must know that everyone in the Waste needs weapons. They're invaluable. Sure, one could run around out there with a shiv, but how far is someone like that going to make it? I'll tell you, as far as the nearest tavern, where the local peasants will bash their skull in with shovels, or to the nearest ditch, where the wild hounds will finish them off. So, how does one avoid that sad fate? By purchasing a quality firearm, and where might one purchase an item of such quality? Why, right here, of course. Feel free to check my math on that one. Yeah, can I ask something else? I'm listening. Tell me about yourself. What's there to tell? Before I came to this village, I worked in a large city to the south of here. You know, Krasnoznameni. It's quite the city. A real center of region. So many people there. Life is bustling. After I got tired of that, I came here for some fresh air, and that's that. You pick up on the regret in his voice when he speaks. Clearly there's something he's not telling you. I know there's something you're leaving out. Maybe I can help if you tell me about what's bothering you. Oh, fine. Why bother hiding it anymore? You see, I was a big man in Krasnoznameni. I was a weapons, ammo, alcohol, and tobacco dealer. I had warehouses in the city. I was a part of the trade house. I had a family, a wife, and a son. The trader looks through you, his sight aimed into the past. You succeeded at finding the genuine man beneath the guise of a smiling professional salesman. Well, most big men have enemies, and I had some too, it turned out. How else could I explain the fires at my warehouses, the attacks on my caravans, and the fact that someone tried to break into my house, and even after that, the troubles kept on coming. My workers started to leave me for different reasons. My guards said they wouldn't follow my caravans anymore, some valuable contracts failed to deliver. Everything indicated someone was out to get me. No, worse, someone was out to destroy me. I wanted to learn more about my nemesis. I hired some sleuths, but whoever was behind this operation was too tricky for them to find. Eventually, I started drinking. You see the trader ball his fists up hard, like he is trying to suppress some strong emotions. The wife left me, took my son with her. I understand why, but, well, after that, someone turned in an anonymous tip about me. Claimed I was some sort of moral degenerate and a shame to the trade house of Krasnoznameni. That I worked with thugs and antisocial elements and all that. The vote was swift and I was escorted out of the city, and now here I am. Just managed to get back on my feet recently. Do you suspect anyone specific is behind your situation? It could have been anyone. Like I said, big men have many enemies. But don't listen to me, friend. What am I even doing, pouring my heart out to a client? That's very unprofessional. The trader coughs uncomfortably and straightens the sides of his dusty jacket. Hold on there. Unprofessional? Maybe I can help. Well, it is possible. I see you're not a stupid man. You know people, and maybe the road takes you to Krasnoznameni one day. Maybe then you would work on re-electing me into the trade house? Because as clear and lovely as the air is in these parts, trading with the village militia and some derelicts is very tiring, and paying fees to the local criminals is even worse. And what will I get in return? Well, if everything goes well and I get my position back, I won't deny you any kindness. I will pay you so much, money troubles will become a thing of the past, maybe for the rest of your life. Sounds interesting. So, will you help me out? Agreed. If I get to Krasnoznameni, I will deal with your dilemma. Great, okay, so the trade house building is in the center of the city. It's a huge building made of brick. It's huge, I tell you. You can't miss it. Inside, you'll find a trader named Alexander Sablin. He was my friend and helped me till the last. He was the only one who didn't turn his back on me. Please talk to him. He'll help me out, I'm sure of it. So I need to go to Krasnoznameni, find the trade house, and talk to some guy named Sablin. I need to think this over. Talk to you later. Well, we finished investigating Yashin, and it's probably fair to say he doesn't have anything to do with the bandits. But as long as we're here, we might as well do some quick trading. There are a couple of things in Yashin's inventory I'd love to grab. But first, let's see how many rubles we can get for the junk we're willing to part with. I don't think we're going to need these toadstools since we used a speech option to skip the quest they're attached to. We could probably give up the tea and the coffee as well. I just don't see myself ever actually using them. And we'll dump these 6 glass bottles full of water. And that nets us 92 rubles. That's almost enough to pay for a quality knife. So, yeah, let's go ahead and grab the knife. We'll make up the difference with rubles. Wherever my rubles are. There they are. Okay, and I think we're good. Though I would like to save up for that duffel bag and, ooh, maybe that med kit in the future. We're definitely going to need more money down the line, but for now the knife should be a pretty significant upgrade. Yeah, our current knife only inflicts 1 to 7 damage per swing, and the new knife inflicts 4 to 9 damage. Oh, and of course we only need 1 knife, so let's go ahead and sell off our old knife. Looks like that'll get us about 1/3 of our rubles back. There we go. Thank you for your time, Yashin. I will be going on my way. Now, Kovalov said he trusts the person who runs the infirmary, so we'll skip that building. And no one's home here, but that means we can help ourselves to some of the things that are lying around. It gets us a box of salt and some toilet paper and some soap. I'll take it. We'll just call that part of my fee for playing detective. Now we'll check out this big building over here, and we've got a couple of people in here. A lot of lootable containers too, but we won't risk trying to rifle through them. Before you stands a 50-year-old man. His rigid posture and his prideful expression contrast slightly with his shifty eyes. Seems like he'd been a small-time government official before the war. Comrade, might you be here to fix our water tower? I might be the one who already fixed it. Can't you hear the motor from here? Oh, really, comrade? I can't believe it. Is it true that someone in this world, warped by war and anger, had the strength and morality to lend a hand to a struggling community? It was a pleasure. Now, how about my payment? Oh, comrade, and I thought you wouldn't be one of those blatant conmen that demand some sort of compensation for simply helping out the proletariat. Well, that can't be helped. What are you asking as compensation? All I can offer you is a sum of money. It's not a lot, but it's not a little either. Take it or leave it. There's many fools in the world you can still con. Here, 100 rubles. So, this is how you treat the working class around here? Now I get why your tech guy left. It is because of extortionists like you that capitalism is rearing its ugly head again. Here, 50 rubles more. This is all I have left. Thanks anyway. I better leave. Okay, so this is the town superintendent. Kovalov specifically said that he was too cowardly to possibly be the traitor. I do want to come back and talk to him later, but for now, let's stay focused on our investigation. We'll question these two people and then we'll move on to the next building. Before you stands an older woman with a straight back and a strict face. In her gaze you detect concealed sorrow and a glimmer of intelligence. I'd like to know what you think about the local bandits. The woman noticeably shrugs, her gaze becomes suspicious and she steps away from you, just in case. I hate them. The damage brought to society because it tolerated thieves can't even be measured. Just imagine how many young people these criminals have infected with their dangerous ideas and lifestyle. A spark of hate burns in the woman's eyes. Although her speech is very bookish, she seems totally serious about what she says. You doubt that a person with such strong beliefs would work for bandits. Okay? Please stay calm. I thank you for your opinion and I hope you have a nice day. Alright, now let's try this surly-looking fellow over here. Before you stands a stocky, powerful man aged around 30. He has a plump face, an upturned nose, and an impudent look in his eye. He is wearing workman slacks and a tight t-shirt with the word rowing printed on the front in faded, sunburnt letters. You see that he is rolling dice in his palm. Great, so let's not gamble with him. I'd like to get your opinion on the local bandits. Do they have a representative in the village? Subtle. The man's face stays the same, and he doesn't expose any emotions your words should have brought out. His manner stays the same and his gaze is still pretty saucy. Thieves are thieves. What's there to say? They survive. That's it. He spits to the side and looks at you insolently, right in the eye. Do you suspect someone inside the village? Is there a spy around? And why are you interested anyway, comrade detective? Well, you're certainly acting incredibly suspicious, so, Well, what if I want to join them? Yeah, look, what if the one who's working for the bandits just left the village quietly, making no trouble for you or anyone else? Out of sight, out of mind, as they say. And when you decide you're done with all the bullshit, sleeping under rocks, stealing dog food, and all that stuff, there will be a position available for you in our... their bandit camp. It's located not too far from here, in the abandoned factory. Well, how do you like that kind of career opportunity? Let's make this perfectly clear. You're the village snitch, right? And again, Very subtle. Whoa, whoa, quiet down, man. Yeah, it's me, although I resent being called a snitch. I'm more of an infiltrator, you know? Got sent here by my group. Anyway, my proposition is still open to you if you're interested. I have a counter-proposal. You pay me, and I stay silent about what I just heard. Fine, fine, you damn mugger. So much for honor among thieves, but what choice do I have? Here, 100 rubles. I don't have any more. Thanks a bunch. Now, you stay right here. I need to think your proposition over. Just think quick. I'm getting pretty nervous about Kovalev hunting me, so I won't stick around here long. If I see you leave the village, don't expect to find me here when you come back. I'll meet you at the abandoned factory. Sure, just don't leave yet. Okay, so it looks like we've got our man. We could keep running around talking to the rest of the villagers, but I don't think we're likely to learn anything else of importance, so let's just head back to Kovalev and see what he wants us to do next. The infiltrator did pitch an interesting counter-proposal, but for now we'll try working with the townsfolk. Back already? Any news about our plight? I found your snitch. It's Grishka, the young guy hanging around the village. Kovalev slaps his forehead with regret. He looks angry, but also strangely shy, like he just did something stupid. Of course, it was so obvious. The man drifts all around, never works for the benefit of the village, and speaks with characteristic street jargon words. Oh, I'm really growing blind in my old age. Why, just a few years ago I would have spotted him right from the start. How about my reward? You did a good job, you know. Learned the whole truth and did not conceal it, although you probably had reason to do so. For your cleverness, a fitting reward. 500 rubles. I am an honest man, and I pay for honest work. Let's try the speech option here. I can't have it any other way. Nobody should forget the truth, even if you lose as a result. Even if you lose your health over it. Even if you gain new, powerful enemies. Yes, that is true. How did that old song go? We, the people, go hand in hand with the truth. Here, have a little extra money. You earned it. And thank you again. Anyway, let us get back to our problem. Grishka must be dealt with. He must disappear so that he can never continue working for the enemy. I would be glad to help with the disappearing. Interesting. I would not ask why, but that is good to hear. But what exactly do you propose? Attacking him in broad daylight? No, no, and no. That will never work. I don't want to rouse panic in the village. The snitch must be dealt with quietly. It must appear as if he just left. Behind the fence there is this abandoned building. How about you lure him out there and silently, you know, do the deed. Cleanly. A rotten thing to do, especially by my standards, but sometimes one must do rotten things if it means saving our little community from total obliteration. I don't know how you will lure him there, but I grant you total freedom to do so. After the execution is carried out, return back to me. I would like to speak to you more about our future cooperation. It will be done. I will lure the snitch into that abandoned house and, well, you know, gotta go. Alright, looks like we've got our next quest. It's a good thing we just bought a new knife. Anyway, let's get back to Grishka. Listen, you don't have anything against going over to that abandoned building over there, right? The snitch looks at you suspiciously and eyes his surroundings. To gain his trust, you need to trick him somehow. Why would I do that? Listen, pal. 2 of my buddies are looking for a place to stay just like I am. They're squatting in that abandoned house over there. We should probably pay them a visit. The man calms down a bit and nods. So your buddies are in that abandoned building over there? I know where it is. Yeah, but they're not the trusting sort. If you go over there alone, they'll hide. So what am I supposed to do? I'll join you and call them out. Okay, looks like we're headed to the abandoned building. I'm not entirely sure where it is, but I guess I can just follow Grishka here. Let's fast forward to our destination real quick. Alright, here we are. We've got the abandoned building in sight, and Grishka is blissfully unaware of what I've got in store for him. I could try talking to him, but honestly, that would probably just tip him off. Instead, I think we'll just initiate an attack by clicking on the weapon button, and then clicking directly on Grishka here to get things started. There we go. We've done a pretty decent amount of damage to him. Ooh, but he just stabbed us back for 7 hit points worth of damage. Fortunately, because of our duplicitous tactics, it was a pretty one-sided fight. Let's see what he was carrying. Thief Passport. This is an Ace of Spades card. Under the picture, someone put a crude stamp with only one word. Crook. Well, that sounds useful. We've also got some dice, which are less useful. And a shiv, which appears to do the same damage as our old knife did, but with the added effect of granting -1 to personality while you're holding it. And as long as we're here, I guess we should check out this little abandoned building. It doesn't look like there's anything outside, but we clearly just saw that there's something inside. So we'll just let ourselves in here. And we've got a bed and a couple of lockers. Interesting. Does someone actually sleep here, or is this bed just for show? Okay, I guess I can't actually do anything with it. Let's go check out those lockers. That one's locked, and this one is empty. Okay, let's make a token effort to crack open this lock. Alright, well, obviously we don't have a high enough skill to reliably open that lock. We'll just have to remember it's there and come back to crack it open when we've gone up another level or two. At this point, I've been playing for about 40 minutes, so I think we're at a good stopping point. Next time, we'll start off with reporting back to Kovalev, and we'll find out what other jobs he might have for us. But for now, this is RetconRaider, signing off. Thanks for watching. Oh, and remember, although I do love playing Atom RPG, you can find out more about the game by visiting the official website, the official YouTube channel, or the store page on Steam. Links are in the description.